Today, we are going to be diving into Google's brand new Gemini 3.0 Flash update. And I'm going to show you exactly what makes this different from every other AI model you've been using. We'll be talking about how to automate your business with it, some of the best automations you could build with this. And here's what you're going to learn today. You're going to learn why Gemini 3.0 is a total game changer for solopreneurs wanting to automate their business. These specific ways this beats ChatGPT and Claude in certain tasks. How this new model can help you get more leads, more customers, and save massive amounts of time. Real examples of what you can build with this that you couldn't do before. The exact workflows I'm using right now to automate client work and content creation, and why this is the perfect tool for people who thought AI was too complicated or too technical. And I'm going to break down my complete 30-day framework for implementing this into your business, even if you've never used this before. Plus, I'll be building some custom tools live that you can take and use immediately in your business. This is going to be packed with value, my friends. So let's get straight into this. So if you haven't seen the update, this is Gemini 3 Flash Frontier Intelligence Built for Speed. And you can see this literally just came out. This is brand new, fresh off the press. Google have just released it. They've been teasing it for weeks. And you see it says Gemini 3 Flash is our latest model of frontier intelligence built for speed that helps everyone learn, build, and plan anything faster. And if you haven't noticed already, Google are absolutely dominating the game. They are just absolutely crushing it. It's hard for anyone to compete with them. I mean, OpenAI, I don't even talk about them anymore. You know what I mean? And if I do, usually I'm testing out their updates and it's nowhere near as good as this stuff. So we're going to get straight into this. If you want to get access to Gemini Flash, you can go to gemini.google.com. And then from here, you can switch the models and you can switch between them, right? So you've got fast mode over here, which means that you can use the Flash model. Now, this is gradually rolling out, and you see they said last month we kicked off with Gemini 3, with Gemini 3 Pro and Deep Think mode, and the response has been incredible. However, it does rinse the credits. So what they didn't say rinse the credits, but you know what I mean. And you can see now they've said starting today, Gemini 3 Flash is rolling out to millions of people globally, for developers, for everyone in the Gemini app and in AI mode. So you can just start using Gemini Flash inside the Gemini app. And here's an example of it being used. Let's play this back. So you just switch to fast mode, right, inside the chat. How do you do that? You go back to Gemini, like you can see over here, and then you're going to switch to fast mode, right? This is the model that we're using. You do have Thinking and Pro, but fast is like the fastest way to get answers quickly. And also it's very scalable for developers. That's one of the best things, right? So you can see here, Gemini 3 Flash, Frontier Intelligence at scale, and you can get access to this over here. Lilix says, go, go, go. That's what we're talking about. If anyone has questions as we go along, feel free to ask. Happy to help fill in the gaps, cover anything that I've missed. And they've also said, Gemini 3 Flash demonstrates that speed and scale don't have to come at the cost of intelligence. It delivers frontier performance on PhD level reasoning and knowledge benchmarks like GPQA, Diamond, and the humanities last exam without tools, rivaling larger frontier models and significantly outperforming even the best 2.5 model, Gemini 2.5 Pro, which is pretty insane, right? So their fastest model, the most lightweight model, is now absolutely crushing Gemini 2.5, which was the beast. It was a GOAT. Like last month, it was a GOAT until the new one came out. All right, so you can see the performance here. You can see the cost of it and how you can use it. You can use it for free inside the Gemini app, but this is just for coding and developing with it. So these are the API costs, etc. And then you can see how it performs against, for example, like Gemini 3 Pro and that sort of thing, right? So let's zoom in. We can have a look at the benchmarks here. So we've got 3 Flash here versus Pro. Obviously, it's like 25% of the price, so it's a lot cheaper. And then also you can see here that it's not too far off the benchmarks when it comes to being compared against 3 Pro. But here's the other thing, is like if you compare it against 2.5 Pro, right? It's number one, it's a lot cheaper. So 0.5 versus $1.25, right? And then also you can see it actually beats 2.5 Pro on humanities last exam. And it also crushes it on AGI tests, right? It also crushes on GPQA Diamond tests and on maths as well, right? So Gemini Flash is better than 2.5 Pro, but it's faster and more scalable, right? And it's obviously going to be a lot cheaper for developers to create apps around it as well, which is pretty cool and pretty exciting stuff. So this is what it looks like. We're going to X off there. You can also get it, I think, on the API. Yeah, so you can get it on the API on OpenRouter, as you can see. If we actually click on compare inside OpenRouter, we can compare it against another model. So let's have a look and see how it performs versus 3.0 Pro. just to get a feel for like what's the difference between them. So this is Gemini 2.5 Pro, and this is Flash Preview, and you can see the context length is exactly the same, but the price is way cheaper for Flash versus Gemini 2.5 Pro, right? So if you code it now and you're using the old model, well, you can just switch to using 2.5 Flash. And then you see the difference between Flash Preview and Pro Preview, right? So this is the latest Pro model from Gemini, and this is the newest Flash model. And you can see the context window is exactly the same. The difference is this is 25% of the cost for coding with, right? And again, you can use this for free inside the Gemini app. So this is just for building this stuff, right? What else we got here? So Gemini Notebook are a monster AI for college students. 100% agree with that. Like Notebook LM is just goated at the minute. And then Nomad Dad says Google is on fire. I've been loving vibing in anti-gravity. I love anti-gravity too. I'm glad we're on the same page, singing off the same hymn sheet here. Pretty cool. So we're going to get straight into this. Let's test it out so we can switch between all the different tools over here. So we can go to Canvas, go to Fast, and we can actually compare this against Gemini 3.0 Pro, right? So if we switch to Pro over here, this is 3.0 Pro, and we'll do exactly the same test, right? And then this is Fast, right? So this is using Flash. So what could we build with this stuff? What could we create? Well, I actually got a bunch of notes on Flash inside the AI Success Lab, completely free, right? So if you want to get all the notes from today, you can get that inside the AI Success Lab. And if you want to see some examples of what we could build, well, let's have a look here. So I'm going to say we're going to try and create this tool here, right? I'm going to go inside Gemini and say create a tool that can create my entire week of content in under 5 minutes. So social media posts, emails, blog ideas, everything. All I do is type in the topic, right? So we're going to take that. This is a prompt. We're going to plug that in, and then we're going to go over to Gemini 3.0 Pro, give it exactly the same prompt, and just see, okay, what's the quality of the outputs? What does it give us, right? So basically what we're doing here is we're creating a repurposing app, mini app inside Gemini using Flash that can create like a week's worth of content just by typing in the topic that we want to write about, right? And it's going to code that out like you can see here. Now, Gemini Flash should be a lot faster. So you can see 3.0 Pro is still coding out. Flash has already created it, right? So if we type in the topic here, let's just test if it works. So for example, over here, I'm going to type in, let's see, I'm going to put Gemini 3.0 Flash, and we'll click create my week and see if it actually works. And then we should have 3.0 Pro. Ah, look, Pro is so much slower. Probably because it's a thinking model, right? It's a reasoning model. It's not designed for speed, whereas Flash is designed for speed. So that's a good comparison. And then you can see here how it's come up with the blog post idea, the newsletter drafts, the social media schedule, right? So the social media posts we can just copy and paste for each day of the week. And we just built that tool in like a couple of clicks. How insane is that? And it worked perfectly first time around. So this is the sort of stuff I want to show you. If you want to get access to that for free, I'll put it inside the AI Success Lab. So let's just copy that, copy the link, and then we'll go back to the AI Success Lab. If you go inside the AI Success Lab, there's 39,200 people interested in AI that you can connect with. It's inside the link in the comments and description. And if you go to Classroom over here, you can scroll down, go to New AI Automations, and inside here, you can grab the tools right at the top here. All right. So I'm just going to plug that right there for you. All right, so you can get access to it. Boom. So you can create tools, build them out. They seem to actually work first time around. Incredibly easy and way faster than Gemini. Like Gemini 3.0 Pro is literally just come up with the topic and come up with a prototype. Whereas, for example, Flash just built it like straight away. So you can see the difference in speed, but also you can see the quality in the outputs. Like this tool actually worked first time round. It was a one shot and boom shakalaka, it worked, right? Now let's see what Gemini Pro's tool is like. So it's a little bit different. I'm going to plug in the topic here, but you see like the UI is not that different, right? The biggest difference here is like it just gave us it gave us a tone, a voice option, right? So if we type in inspirational, Gemini Flash, hit enter. Let's see if this actually works. So it's coming up with this content strategy over here. What we got on the comments here? All right, I just started using Whisk. Pretty amazing. Thanks for your effort. Happy to help. And Vic says, and anyone who wants a second brain, what is your best recommendations for making? I would check out the AI profit boarding for stuff like that if you wanna learn how to use this stuff online. And then Pais says, "Yay, here." That's what we're talking about. All right. So I mean, Gemini 3's tool I would say is actually better because you can see here you can flip between like blog ideas, newsletters, social media content, and then you've got like the tweets and the LinkedIn posts and everything else. But I think if you want something fast and if you're not too fussy about complex outputs, then you can just use Gemini Flash. All right. So, hey, you got into the gems. Yeah. So, I mean, it's really cool. This is not a gem. This is just like the canvas, but you can see how you can use it and how easy and powerful it is, right? And how it works straight away. I've been using the split screen thing in Chrome. The person that mentioned yesterday is a legend. I would agree with that. If you haven't seen this before, right, basically what you can do inside Chrome now is you can say, right, okay, add tab to the new split view, and then you can add the tab. So for example, let's say we want to add let's say we want to compare Gemini 3.0 Pro versus Gemini Flash. Well, on this side, we have Flash, and on this side, we have Gemini 3.0 Pro, right? We can compare the outputs side by side. And the way that you do that is you just right click the tab, and then you would just click on like a range split view, and that's it. Pretty simple and easy. So you can see how this works, how powerful it is. It is very impressive what it can do. You know, and like it's really, really, really powerful stuff. All right. Now I want to run through some limiting beliefs that some people struggle with when it comes to this stuff, and I also want to talk you through like the old way, which was wrong, and the new way, which is right. Right. So a lot of people think like I need to use multiple AI tools to get the best results, right? But you know, when you're using something like Flash, right, most people think they need ChatGPT for writing, Claude for analysis, Gemini for research, and 5 other tools for different tasks. They're constantly switching between platforms, copying and pasting, trying to remember what each tool does. And they waste like 2 to 3 hours per week just managing different tools, right? And the real problem is not having one powerful system you can master completely. And here's the truth. Gemini 3.0 Flash can handle almost everything you need in one single place. It's faster than GPT-5, it's free, and it connects directly to Google's entire ecosystem. So think about this, like you wouldn't use 5 different hammers to build one single house. You use one good hammer and actually learn how to swing it properly, right? And the person who masters one tool deeply will always be the person who dabbles in 10 tools. And Gemini 3.0 Flash is that one single tool. And I'm going to show you exactly how to use it like a professional. The other thing is like some people say, well, AI is too complicated and technical for me. You know, the old way, the wrong way, is that people see AI and immediately think, I'm not a programmer. This isn't for me. I'll never understand this. They watch one tutorial, get confused and give up. They convince themselves that AI is only for tech people or young people who grow up with computers. But the real problem is not your technical ability, is that you've been taught AI the wrong way. Let me tell you about something that happened in 1995, right? Everyone said the internet was too complicated. For example, you need to know HTML. You need to understand servers. Regular people will never use this. But 20 years later, your grandma is posted on Facebook, right? Why is that? It's because the tools got easier, because someone made it simple. And that's exactly what's happening with AI right now. Gemini 3.0 Flash is so easy to use, as you've seen already today, that if you can type a sentence, you can use it. You don't need to code. You don't need to understand how it works under the hood. You just need to know what to ask it for. You know, I have members inside the AI Profit Boardroom who are in the 60s and they run successful businesses with AI. They're not technical, they're just willing to learn one good system, and that's all it takes. The final belief that is totally wrong was like some people say free AI tools aren't as good as paid ones. You know, people think if it's free, it must be worse. I need to pay for ChatGPT Plus or Claude Pro or Google Ultra to actually get real results. And they spend a lot on subscriptions whilst the free tools just sit there underused, right? And the real problem is not the tool, it's how you use it. Here's a fact that will shock you. Gemini 3.0 Flash is faster than basically almost, you know, than GPT-5, for example. Handles longer conversations, processes more context, and it's free to use inside Gemini, inside the app, right? And Google isn't charging for this because they're making, you know, they're getting customers elsewhere. They want you using their ecosystem. They want you in Google Workspace. They want you dependent on their tools. And guess what? That's actually good for you as an entrepreneur, right? I've tested every paid AI tool on the market, and for 8% of business tasks, Gemini 3.0 Flash can match or beat them. So, you know, you can, it's like someone getting a fancy camera. It doesn't make you a better photographer than someone with a cheaper camera who actually knows how to use it. All right. So let's go back over here. We're going to do a new test. All right. So we'll set up a new test over here. We're going to compare Pro versus Fast. All right. We're going to switch to Canvas and Canvas. Right. Now I'm going to go over to Claude because Claude knows me very well. Right. And I'll say, okay, what's one single landing page I should build for my SEO agency? Give me the prompt to build it. And we'll wait for that to load. What else we got here on the comments? Doctor Who Design says, I love it. Yaya Paula says, I think it is still better to split it by the window because it's more space. Just drag the whole window to the edge of the screen and open another one next to it. I'm no programmer and I've been building amazing stuff in anti-gravity. Type sentence, boom, shakalaka, done. Vic says, your analogy of 4 different hammers hit home. It's a great pearl of AI wisdom. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. And Yaya says, yeah, I've been starting the apps at the gems, then move it to AI Studio, then work on it with anti-gravity. Nice, nice. That's very smart. And Michelle says, I'm excited to test their super gems too. Might be a game changer against GPTs. I would agree. I think it is, right? So let's see what we're going to build here. I'm going to just say to Claude, give me a crazy dopamine-inducing prompt for a beautiful, modern, colorful, super attention grabbing website design, specifically for a landing page. Can be about anything. Okay? And we'll just get like some crazy prompt and then we'll test it on Gemini and Flash and just see which one does the best. Chris says, aren't all these nonstop AI updates making you feel overwhelmed? So, you know, the way that I see it is like my job is to serve, right? So for the millions of people I reach, my job is just to serve them and to make things easy and quick to understand. So like if you're struggling with like overwhelm, for example, we actually have a focus protocol inside the AI Profit Boardroom. So as soon as you sign up, you get a focus protocol and that'll help you cut through the noise. But I don't get overwhelmed because I'm like, this is what I'm here to do, right? To make things easy for everyone else. So we're going to take this. We're going to copy that. We're going to go into Flash and into Pro and see. I would fully expect Pro to create a better design, but I'd expect Flash to create something pretty good and also for it to be like way faster as well. But we'll see which one comes back fastest, right? So we've got them coding side by side over here. We'll see which one performs the best. You know, the other thing I would say about overwhelm in particular, right, is like some people say, I don't have time to learn another new AI tool. The old way of thinking, and I think this is wrong, is like every time something new comes out, people think, great, another thing I need to learn, another thing taking up my time. I'm already overwhelmed. And so they ignore it. They stick with what they know, even if what they know is slow and inefficient, right? The new way, and I think this is the right way to think, is like the real problem is not time, is that you're spending time on the wrong things. So let me ask you this, you know, how much time are you spending right now on tasks that AI could do in seconds? Writing emails, researching competitors, creating content, analyzing data, responding to the same questions over and over. If you're spending even like 10 hours per week on these tasks, and AI could cut that to 2 hours, you're not too busy to learn AI, you're too busy not to learn it, right? And here's what happened with one of my members inside the AI Profit Boardroom. He spent like a few hours learning NA10, and now he's built an automation that saves him like 3 to 4 hours per week, right? And so 3 to 4 hours per week, well, that's, you know, 12 to 16 hours per month. That's over 160 hours per year that he saves, right? Just from learning NA10 for a few hours. And so like if you put the time in up front, you know, you get a huge return on that. So we've got the side-by-side comparison here. Actually, what I really like, this is Flash and this is Gemini 3.0 Pro. I actually think this looks cooler, right? With the flashing letters and the colored design here. Let's keep scrolling down. I like the way this kind of like scrolls as we go through, but I think this is better, right? So Gemini 3.0 doesn't have like this nice little animation here. Let me zoom out for you a bit here. So you see this crazy phone that's moving around? That's pretty cool. And then look at the headings inside Flash, right? It looks super nice. And then we've got the flashing background with the flashing button. Really nice design here. I would genuinely say that the Flash created a better output there. On the benchmarks, Gemini 3.0 Pro is superior by a long way, but you know, Flash actually creates something faster and better than 3.0 Pro. Yeah, Michelle agrees. I'm glad I'm not the only one. So Flash is definitely better. Well, yeah, I would agree. I think Flash created a better output right there. Vic said it's the same. I feel Flash is best. Who thinks that Flash is best, by the way? Like, let me know in the chat. I'd be interested to know. Because from what I'm seeing and from my perspective, it looks like Flash is actually better. Right? Now, you might be thinking as well, okay, you know, what makes Flash so special? Like, what's the difference here? So there's a few things. So number one, you know, Gemini 3.0 Flash is faster than all the other Google models. Number two, its context window is pretty good. You know, it's got 1 million context window. That's higher than some of the paid models from other models. So for example, like if you go on to, let's have a look here. If we compare this and we go to, for example, Claude, right? Claude Opus 4.5. You can see Claude Opus 4.5, which is their brand new release and is an amazing model, but only has 200 token context window, right? 200K. Whereas, for example, Gemini 3 Flash Preview has 1 million context length, right? Huge difference. But Flash is way, way cheaper, right? So, for example, you see here, to code with Opus, it costs $5 per million tokens. To code with Gemini Flash Preview, it costs it costs 50 cents, right? To code with that. So there's a huge difference in terms of the price as well, right? But yeah, I think Flash did a great job there. Also, you know, Google integrations. So this can integrate directly with Google Workspace, Google Search, Google Sheets, Google Docs, etc. It's multimodal, so you can handle text, image, code, data analysis all in one place. You can use it free inside the app, and yeah, it's really, really cool. Open source AI, yeah, I'm sure more are coming. And Yaya says, yeah, Gemini Pro has started to have the same design on most outputs. Looks like Flash has new UIs. Yeah, I would agree. I think that's true, actually. I think the UI is quite different that you get from Flash. So this is the one from Flash. If we have a look at the one from Gemini, it doesn't look as good, right? It doesn't look anywhere near as good. So you can see the differences here. You can see how powerful Flash is. How to download the code. What you do, you just go to code over here, and then you can grab the code like so, right? So you can just take that like so. Just take the React, right? Simple as that. You can also go to AI Studio here. So if we go to AI Studio, what's new? Rewind so Gemini Flash has just come out. If you're wondering what's new about it, just rewind the live stream and you'll see all the stuff that we've compared side by side against each of these models. And then if we go to your apps over here, I believe we can start building with Flash as well. Yeah, look at that. So the default model now is Flash Preview. It was Gemini 3 Pro before, but they've changed it to Flash Preview now, which I think is better, right? So can you make a TikTok clone? Yeah, I think you could. It probably wouldn't be very good, but you could. I mean, it would probably have the front end UI, but it wouldn't have like the back end usability, right? So if you go to Flash Preview, let's test this out as well. We'll go inside here. We're going to say, okay, create a Nano Banana powered app. I'm going to say create a YouTube thumbnail designer app. Let me plug in a picture of myself plus the thumbnail style I want to emulate, plus the topic, then generate a landscape YouTube thumbnail design that I can download based on that, right? And then we can start coding with Flash Preview like so to create that thumbnail design. So it's building out here. We will be able to eventually deploy that too. But yeah, there we go. All right. Whilst waiting for that to code, you know, some people say, well, AI will replace me or make my skills worthless. You know, people see AI panic they see AI and they panic, right? A lot of people, and they say like, if AI can write, design, code, and analyze, what's left for me? Am I going to be obsolete? And they resist learning it because they're scared it will prove they're not needed. And what I would say here is like the real problem is like AI is not going to take your job, but but it is someone who knows AI that's probably taking your customers, right? So the truth is, like, AI doesn't replace people; it replaces people who don't use AI. So think about what happened with calculators. Like, did calculators replace accountants? No, but accountants who refused to use calculators got replaced by accountants who did. And AI is the same, right? The businesses winning right now aren't the ones with the biggest teams; they're the ones with the best AI systems. And one person with Gemini 3.0 Flash can now do the work of 5 people. They can respond to leads faster. They can create content faster. They can create apps faster. They can solve problems faster, right? So your competition isn't other solopreneurs anymore. It's solopreneurs with AI. And here's the beautiful part. Right now, most people still aren't using this stuff correctly. You're early. You have a window, but that window is closing fast. So if we go over to AI Studio over here, it's asking for the camera. So we're going to upload. Here we go. So we can upload a photo, the topic, the title, and then we should be good to go. All right. So I'm going to type it. So I'm going to select vibrant and viral over here. Then I shall grab an image of myself, maybe off my website, something like that, just to make it nice and easy. Here we go. Let's take that picture. All right. And then we'll put in the topic, Google Gemini 3.0 Flash. Upload that image of myself. All right. Generate the thumbnail here. AI is like a car which needs drivers. Everyone else can ride on the bus. Yep. And Yaya Paula says you can export it to Git and then connect it to any other tool from there. And boom, look at that. Look at that thumbnail. It's absolute magic, right? How quickly and easily did we create that? It was so effortless to do, right? You can actually change the image, but we've just built a thumbnail generator that creates better thumbnail. Like, all right, here's something interesting for you, right? This may blow your mind. So if we go back to YouTube, back in the old days, I would pay a professional designer and they would create thumbnails like this, right? Now, you tell me, and we'll do the split for you again, right? You tell me, my friend, which one created the nicest thumbnail? Was it the human designer on the left-hand side? Or was it the AI designer that we created in like literally 2 seconds? Right? Of course, it was the AI designer. Like, this thumbnail's 10 times better than these, right? And so my point here is that you can build better and faster and more powerful tools, and you can replace your team by creating these sort of apps, right? And if you have the right idea, that's all you need is the right idea. You type in plain English over here, and then boom, you've got an app that works in like literally 2 seconds. So we can download that. We've got the thumbnail downloaded. And I could use that. I'm tempted to actually use that on the next video that I produce about it. Okay? Wow, incredible. Michelle says AI. Yeah, it's unbelievable. Unbelievable. Nomad Dad says use it. By the way, team, Squadron, if you want to get access to that, I'm feeling generous today. I'm going to deploy that. We'll deploy it. So this is how you deploy it, by the way, if you want to know like how to launch these apps. There we go. And then that's deploying on Google Cloud now. And what I can do is after that, get a shareable link. So we can click on view app over here. We've got the shareable link over here. And then I can go inside the notes from today, link in the comments description inside the AI Success Lab. And there you go. You got the thumbnail creation tool right there, right? So if you want to use this stuff, you can. And you see how easy it is to use this stuff as well. All right. So just to recap here, we've talked about how you can use it inside AI Studio and build your own mini apps that work perfectly first time round. You can use it inside Gemini, and it actually creates better websites right now than Gemini 3 Pro Preview when we've covered each of these, right? And we've also looked at OpenRouter and compared the two here. By the way, if you just want, you can use OpenRouter, for example, like Gemini Flash, inside all these other models. All you do is you just grab an API key. So go to your profile. Once you've logged into OpenRouter, go to keys, and then you can grab an API key that you can start using inside NA10 and all that sort of thing, right? That prompt isn't even sophisticated. That is my point. Yeah, you don't need to be doing anything fancy here. So that means you don't need to know how to prompt. Exactly, exactly. You just need to know how to describe what you want. Can the AI Studio make iOS or Android apps? If you want to create iOS apps or Android apps, go to Firebase.studio, right? And you can build full stack apps for iOS inside there, right? And also, if you want to learn how to use Firebase and build your own apps, type in Firebase inside the AI Profit Boardroom, link in the comments description. And then inside this community, you can get access to Firebase, as you can see right here, right? So you can see all these trainings on Firebase Studio, and you get access to all of those inside the AI Profit Boardroom. Will Flash 3.0 make the AI voice mode better? Well, I mean, it's not really voice related as far as I'm aware, but what you can do is you can create your own voice mode here, and it will build good apps with voice mode, right? So just make sure you have the model selected as Gemini 3 Flash Preview over here. Then you're going to click on Create Conversational Voice Apps. And then inside here, for example, you can say, okay, create a customer service agent for my AI automation community, right? That helps people with AI automation problems. Plus is super friendly, plus funny, plus has good banter, right? Very important. We want good banter on that voice agent too, right? We'll click on build like so, and then we'll start generating the outputs. Spoon says, thank you, happy to help. Have you used the small tools where you can do like a screenshot and tell the coder what to change? Is at the bottom of the chat inside. Yeah. Like, I mean, all you like, for example, if there's something I don't like inside the app, I'm just going to screenshot it using Command Shift and 4 on the Mac, like that. And then I will copy that screenshot and plug it into the chat over here. That's usually how I problem solve and how I fix things as well. I love this comment. Savior of the universe. I don't know if that's directed at me, but I appreciate it. I don't think I'm quite the savior of the universe, but you know, I do my best. I do my best. So I appreciate it. Thank you for that. All right. So we're just building this out, like you can see. And we have to allow access to our microphone. No, it's a tool on the AI Studio. Ah, okay. And then inside here, we've got Auto Buddy Pro, the AI automation community expert, right? Hey, Auto Buddy, how do I link Zapier to a toasted sandwich maker? All right, connect to start the banter. Let's see what we got here. I'm just going to change the audio settings on the live stream so that you can hear this back. All right, let's start the voice chat here. Hey, can you tell me how to automate stuff with Google Flash 3.0 Pro?
Rockstar? Google Flash 3.0 Pro? Huh? Sounds like the coolest gadget that's not quite ready for retail yet. Are you maybe...
You can see like it's worked, but it kind of got cut off halfway through. So what I'm going to do is copy that image, paste it inside the chat here. I'm going to say, okay, fix this issue. Ah, there we go. Yeah, so it's fixing it right there for us. And that should begin. No, my dad said, I didn't know about Firebase, so I have to catch up on that one. Yeah, check out the training inside the AI Profit Boardroom for that one. And you can learn how to use it and how to get access to it, etc. So we'll just fix that bug right now. It's also good for you to see like, okay, there are bugs and there are issues, and you know, these things don't work perfectly first time round, and that's okay, right? Like if you get a problem, here's how to fix it. So we're just waiting for that to code out. Might take a little while. In the meantime, let's go back to the notes from today. So the other thing I want to show you, right, And this is what you're about to learn is like my complete system for implementing Gemini 3.0 Flash into your business, even if you've never used AI before. And I call it the Flash framework because it's specifically built for this tool and because it helps you move fast, right? And this isn't theory. Like, this is exactly what everyone's using right now. This is what members inside the AI Profit Boardroom are implementing to save like 20 or 30 or even 40 hours per week. And I'm going to break it down day by day so you know exactly what to do and how to get started, all right? So the Flash framework, let me talk you through it. First of all, I would start with the foundations. So days 1 to 7, set up the command center, define your top 3 time drains. That could be, for example, writing emails, researching competitors, creating social media posts, analyzing data from clients, responding to customer questions. Whatever takes up your time right now, write it down so you know exactly what you need to automate. From there, you're going to build your first prompt library. So just take one of your time drains from day 2, create a prompt that automates it. For example, if you spend hours writing emails, create a prompt like you're my email assistant, write a professional email to potential client requesting information about whatever service you sell. Keep it under 150 words, make it friendly but direct, include a clear call to action to book a call, right? Save this prompt and you use it every single day. Boom. Then test and refine the prompts. Then you're going to start building the next prompt and the next prompt and just review and calculate, right? So on day 7, what you want to do is look at your 3 prompts and ask yourself, how much time did they save you this week? If each one just saves you 2 hours, well, that's 6 hours in total. And that's almost a full workday. Now imagine doing this every single week for a year. Now, week 2, you can start expanding. So you can connect to your Google Workspace. You can automate your content creation, for example. You could build your research system. You could automate client onboarding, right? Create a FAQ automation and build your analysis. You can do all that in one single week. It'll probably take you only about 5 to 10 minutes each automation. As you've seen today, like every automation I built were built in like 1 or 2 days, right? And then day 14, just review and optimize, right? Look at everything you built. What's working, what's not. Refine the prompts that need work. Double down on the ones that save you the most time. So you can see how quickly you can just build this stuff step by step and start creating stuff easier, right? Justin says, I'm getting, rinsed with invites for new courses. If I join your community, would you say you cover the landscape down to get up to speed? Yeah, so one thing we actually do that will save you a lot of time each week, Justin, is inside the community, and I do this every week, I write it personally myself, right, is I actually break down what's good and what to ignore, right? So you'll see inside the AI Profit Boardroom community here, we have a section, and I update this every Monday, a weekly update section here, and you can see I break down like all the latest updates. So you can see here, for example, what's worth your time and what to skip. And basically, if you only have like 30 minutes a week to stay up to date with AI, you can just read this update and it'll break down exactly what you want, right? And people absolutely love it. They actually say that's one of the best things about the community is like we just break down in 30 minutes exactly what you need to do and what you need to ignore so you can just get up to date with AI like instantly. And you can also filter to that category inside the community so you can just read that quickly and then save loads of time, right? And the cool thing about that is like I literally spend like anywhere between 60 to 90 hours a week messing around with AI for you, right? And so I condense those 90 hours into a 5-minute quick recap so that you save time and you don't have to worry about this stuff because I've done all the hard work for you. So you can just get those updates right there and then save a lot of time, all right? And that will help you cover the landscape to get up to speed quickly. How do you export to GitHub and Vercel? All right, so if you want to export to GitHub, you just click on Save to GitHub inside here, right? Simple as that inside AI Studio. If I make my app with Firebase, how can I add that to my mobile to test? So if you check out the AI Profit Boardroom training on Firebase, you'll learn how to do that stuff, right? Kind of out the scope of this video today, but yeah, that's what we're doing. So you can see we've got the new version of the voice chat here. Let's test this out. I'm gonna click on Start Voice App. Let's see what we got. Hey, are you actually working right now?
Hey there, Rockstar. Absolutely, I'm working. My circuits are humming with automation magic, ready to help you crush your tasks.
So you can see here that we can easily speak with that AI. That was super easy to do. The AI actually works right now. And yeah, you're good to go on that. I could say, like, how do I get started with NA10? Like, what's the best thing I can start doing with NA10 to learn it?
Rockstar. You're about to unlock the automation matrix. The absolute best way to start is to grab 2 apps you use every day and just connect them. Maybe your email with your to-do list. Then build a super simple workflow where a new email creates a task. You'll be automating in no time and can say goodbye to manual labor.
So you can see how you can easily create, like, I mean, it's got a lot of personality, that voice agent as well. It's not just like a boring thing. Justin says, nice work, I'm in. Thank you very much, sir. Thanks for joining. Appreciate you. Howard says, hey, Julian, thanks for the updates. I tried to create a dashboard UI from ChatGPT, had to convert it to code with the same assets. So, I mean, like, it depends what you're trying to build there, but, you know, you just grab the HTML code from ChatGPT and then you can plug it into, for example, AI Studio and just say, code this or create this or preview this, etc. Okay? Yaya Parola says, the voice will usually auto-create it from Gemini 2.5 when it fits the right code. And that was great. What a pleasant personality. I would agree. That was probably one of the most interesting voice agents I've ever tested. So if I want to deploy this, again, this is how you deploy it. Click deploy app like so. And then we'll verify and deploy that to code around here. And then once that's done, we'll click on view app. We can grab that. Boom shakalaka. All right, we'll go back to Gemini 3.0 Flash Notes. Again, this is all free inside the AI Success Lab. We're going to type in the voice agent tool here. So if you want to play around with these, feel free. Inside the AI Success Lab, you can get access to all the notes, everything you've learned today, all the limiting beliefs and how to overcome them, and then also the 30-day plan and how to implement and learn this stuff, right, for your business, right? So on week number 3, in terms of implementing this, you know, you want to create, start building out more and more of this stuff as well, and then review and stack it, right? And then week number 4, days 22 to 30, day 22, you want to audit your time savings to calculate exactly how much time you saved over the past 3 weeks. Be honest, track it, write it down. You know, if you're not saving at least like 10 hours per week by now, by week 3, then refine your prompts, right? And then day 23, identify your next level. What's the next biggest time drain in your business? What's still taking you too long? Build a new system for it using everything that you've learned today. And then create your backup libraries to save all your best prompts in a Google Doc, organize them by category, and this is your prompt library, your automation arsenal. You know, add it every time you create something new that works. And then day 25, you could train your voice. So you could give Gemini examples you write in your emails, your social posts, your content, and then you could plug in a prompt to like analyze these writing samples, learn my tone, my style, and vocabulary, and from now on, write everything in this style. Now the AI sounds exactly like you, right? And so if you want to plan this stuff out, you know, if you want to learn how to master it, you can get it inside the AI Success Lab. This is a full example, right, of how to do this stuff. What else you got here? Also press a pen tool on the chat and it will open a toolbar that you can use to tell the coder what to change. So look here. That one, annotate app. Add annotations, okay. All right, so we can like, for example, make this and this. And then we can say, okay, we'll add that to chat. And we'll say, okay, make this more bright, colorful, and interesting, and dopamine inducing. And then based on the annotations from the app, we've plugged those into the chat here, and then it should improve the outputs. So right now, yeah, we've got that loading, as you can see. That's ready to go, super easy and simple to code out. And then we'll wait for those to load. Now, in the meantime, you might be saying, okay, Julian, it seems like you're an expert at this sort of stuff. You know exactly what to do, how to do it, etc. And that looks a lot nicer. And that's easy for you. But what about everyone else? What about, you know, people who've not used this before and how to use it and everything else, right? So let me talk you through exactly how you can use AI and what people are getting with as well. So, for example, if we go inside the AI profit board here, you can see that it's not just me that's winning with this stuff. So, for example, like Justin, You know, Justin was sharing his successes with creating videos with Google Whisk, for example. Eric was saying that he created an awesome schema markup for one of his lead generation websites, right? You have, for example, Darren, who created his first ever workflow with NA10. You've got Razan, who made their first funny AI video. And if you're wondering, okay, like, you know, who else is getting results with this stuff, you can actually see inside our testimonials document here, we have 106 pages of testimonials from happy clients who've achieved similar results, right? And they're all entrepreneurs, they're all people getting results with AI automation and just growing and building their companies using AI, right? So if you want to learn this stuff, you can get it all inside the AI Profit Boardroom. You can see how many people are winning. I mean, this testimonial document, it just goes on forever. And every day we're adding new stuff to it. So it's pretty awesome. I mean, Timothy Black said, you know, it's awesome. The AI Profit Boardroom is next level. I joined a week ago and it's totally worth it. Direct response from Julian Goldie is amazing, right? You've got Mark. He says, I don't think I could get better information anywhere else. I know I need the automation, the education. He actually cancelled and then came back and reactivated his membership because it was so good, right? OG said, always coming across great tools in this community. Thanks for everything you do, Julian, right? You can see Queen said the AI Profit Boardroom is going great. 6 weeks class is also incredible. The lessons are very helpful. Thank you, Julian. You sure are gifted. And, you know, like this is just people who've never used AI before, but are just getting amazing results, as you can see. So this is all inside the AI Profit Boardroom. I've shown you all the case studies, all the wins. You know, these aren't like fake results. These are real solopreneurs just like you who decided to stop dabbling and started building real systems. Now, I'm going to give you some homework here if you want to learn this stuff and if you really want to implement this stuff, right? So, for example, you can see your implementation homework here. And after this live stream, here's what I want you to do. So step number 1, go to Google AI Studio and set up your account. Number 2, pick one task you do every day that takes too long. Step number 3, build your first prompt to automate it. And then step number 4, use it for 7 days and just track your time savings. And then step number 5, post your results inside the AI Profit Boardroom win section. And that's it. That's all you need to do to get started. Not like 50 steps, not some complicated system, just one simple task automated with one single good prompt. And then you can build on from there, all right? And once you finish your first 7 days, just post your results inside the AI Profit Boardroom, and I'll personally review what you've built and help you optimize it, all right? And the Flash framework that I've shown you today isn't just a guide. It's a 30-day challenge to completely transform how you work. And everything you need is already free and available right now. You just have to get started, all right? So I want to transition into something really important here. And that's what I want to talk about next, right? So what I just showed you today is super powerful. You know, the Flash framework, the tools, the 30-day plan, etc. But here's what I've learned after helping 1,800 entrepreneurs implement AI into their business. Knowledge isn't the problem, implementation is, right? So, you know, when you use it, you can watch this live stream, you can take notes, you can get excited, but 3 days from now, you'll get busy, you'll get distracted, you'll see some other shiny new tool. And this will just become another tab in your browser that you meant to get back to. And I know this because I see it all the time. That's why I built the AI Profit Boardroom. So let me talk you through exactly what you get when you join. So number 1, you get the weekly 85 formula, right? So as you can see inside the weekly updates here, every single week, my team and I spend over 80 hours testing AI tools, workflows, and automations. We break things, we build things, we figure out what works and what's complete garbage. And you don't get the chaos. You get the 5-minute breakdown, as you can see inside these posts. So you learn what's working right now, what's broken, what made people successful this week. And that will save you, you know, over 520 hours of testing time, right? Now, also, what you need access is personal DM access. So you get direct access to me. And that's not a support team. It's not some automated responses. It's direct from me. So you can see inside my chats here, I clear these out every single day. And if you're stuck on something, you can direct message me. If you have a question about a specific business or your business, you can direct message me. And I personally respond to members and help them inside the community. Top of that, you get unlimited VIP tech support. So when something breaks and you can't figure out, you know, how to connect to tools, for example, or let's say you need help implementing a workflow, you get real support. right? So inside the community here, you can post the problems you're facing and then get help for this stuff, as you can see, right? And people are posting their projects, getting help, getting feedback all the time inside the community. It's just a place where we can share, we can learn, and we can grow together. On top of that, you get the daily live learning lab, right? So inside the learning lab, I go live almost every single day, breaking down my new tools, building systems live, answering questions in real time, etc. By the way, if you have any questions whilst I'm going through this stuff, like just feel free to leave your question in the chat and I'll answer it at the end. And this is like having direct access to someone who's already figured this stuff out, available whenever you need. You also get the daily accountability posts, right? So you can see here, for example, got the action takers daily check-in, as you can see. And these daily check-ins are when members check in every morning. They commit to what they're going to build that day. They execute and then they report back. And accountability is the difference between knowing what to do and actually doing it, right? Most people know what to do, they just don't implement it. So just to recap, you know, we're at 1,850 members right now. When we're at 1,900, the prices will go up permanently. And if you join today, you'd lock in a $49 per month price forever. And that price doesn't change for you. And if you don't save at least like 40 hours in your first 30 days using what's inside the AI Profit Boardroom, we'll be happy to refund you as well. You know, so if you don't like what you see, no questions, no hoops, we're happy to do that. All right. And then also if you join annually, you get a ton more bonuses. So if you sign up to the annual, number one, you get 4 months free, right? So if you sign up for annual, and any member who's already existing can get 4 months free as well in free bonuses, right? And you get access to the SEO Elite Circle. You get free training on how to grow your own school community. You get the annual member vault, which is basically all of my new agency SOPs, Swipe House, and automation blueprints. You'll get lifetime access, so you'll lock in a lifetime yearly access. You get commercial licenses for all the content we give away. You also get access to all future courses and features, and you get 2 bonus annual memberships you can give away to friends, right? And that's all inside the AI Profit Boardroom when you upgrade annually. So feel free to get that link in the comments description. And, you know, you have 2 paths right here. That's a real decision. So path number 1, you keep doing what you're doing. You're testing tools on your own. You're watching random YouTube videos. You're hoping you figure out, spending nights and weekends trying to keep up, right? Or path number 2, you join the AI Profit Boardroom. You get proven systems. You get direct support. You save over 520 hours a year. You build with clarity instead of confusion. And you can sign up today, right, and get access to all those bonuses that we've talked about today. Right, so feel free to get that link in the comments and the description. So what else we got here? Yaya says, have you tried Pomeli? Yes. So if you type in Pomeli inside the AI Profit Boardroom here, you can actually see that we've posted about it, shared about it, etc. And also, if you go to YouTube here, if you go inside YouTube, you'll see that we have some trainings on Pomeli as well, right? So you can see we've got a full training on Google Pomeli right here that you can learn from, and that's directly for free on YouTube. So feel free to get that. We also got training inside the AI Success Lab as well. So if you want to learn more about this, you can get access inside our free community, which has 39,000 people interested in AI. And you see all the trainings for free on Google Pomeli inside here as well. So, yeah. All right, so today we're going to be talking about Google Opal inside Google Gemini, and they've created something called Super Gems. Now, basically, as you can see right here, and this was just announced, you can now build interactive mini apps with Opal inside the Gemini app. Now, if you're not familiar with this, basically you can go over to Google Gemini here, and they have kind of like these gems, but these are similar to custom GPTs, but way more powerful because it's powered by Google Opal, which can create mini apps. So it's not just like a chatbot or automation. You can actually build these like super agents and your mini apps inside Google Gemini, right? So what you can do is you can go to Gem over here. So you go to Gem Manager, you can see a bunch of examples right here, and you can go inside here. So for example, if we click on New Gem, we can type in the name of the gem that we want to build. So let's say, for example, we want to put like, I don't know, AI SEO content writer, something like that. And then you just describe what you want, add some knowledge, add some instructions, and then you can start going off and building this, right? Now, inside Gemini here, you can also describe what you want and how you want to build it. Now, one of the best ways that you can build with this, right, is that you can select the information from Opal and also from Google's website, and then you can plug those in to, for example, a tool like Gemini or Claude and get some ideas like this, right? So I'm going to paste this in, and then we'll say, based on the new update from Gemini plus gem/opal, give me some prompts and app ideas I could build with this, right? We'll wait for that to load, and basically what that can help us do is start building stuff out so that we can get access to all of this, right? So you can see that's giving us the ideas here. So for example, it could be like, take a testimonial, a member testimonial, and create a quote graphic, a Twitter thread version, LinkedIn story thread, etc. Right? So I'm going to take that prompt like so, and that'll basically help me turn customer testimonials into like social media posts, right, for the AI offboarding. So I'm going to go back to Opal now, inside Gemini. We'll go inside here. I'm actually going to change that to testimonial builder. We'll inside Ask Gemini here, we'll paste that in. You can also switch between these different tools, and then we can start using that, right? So we just describe what we want. We'll paste that in, hit enter, and then we're good to go. So here's what you're going to learn today. You're going to learn what Google Gem AI agents actually are, why they're different from regular AI tools, how entrepreneurs are using these to handle customer questions, create content, and manage their business tasks without hiring help, the simple setup that takes 5 minutes but saves you hours every single week, why this is the easiest AI automation you can start using today, even if you've never touched AI before, real examples of gems that I built that are working right now in actual businesses, and the biggest mistakes people make when trying to use these gems, right? So I'm going to show you live on screen exactly how these work, build a few gems whilst you're watching, and prove why this might be the most beginner-friendly AI tool Google has ever released. And if you've been watching AI tools come out feeling like you're always one step behind, this is your chance to get in early on something simple, powerful, and easy to use. So let's get straight into this. You can see the testimonial transformer that we've built, and it's got all these different steps right here. So let's test it out. We're going to click on start over here. We're going to enter the member testimonial text like so. So I'm going to go over to, let's grab an example testimonial like this. Copy that. We'll go back to gems. I'm just going to say type this out and make it fast and easy. Wait for this to load. There we go. All right, so we'll copy that. Then we'll go back to Gemini like so, plug that in. Hit enter. Then we just gotta put Eric's name in there. Thank you, Eric, by the way, for volunteering yourself on this particular example. I appreciate you. Now it's going to start thinking and building this out, right? So you can see it's generating a quote graphic image. So it's taking that testimonial text that we plugged in, and it's going to start building out the image based on that. It's now rendering all the marketing content as well. So it should render it onto like a web page, I think. And you can see the steps on the left-hand side. So this is how the automation is running. And then on the right-hand side, we can actually test the app. If we need to start from scratch, we can click on the refresh button over here, or we can open the advanced editor. And I think that'll actually open inside opal.google, right? So if we click on that, it'll actually open directly inside Opal, right? And you can see the complexity of the workflow, right? So this is the workflow itself, kind of like an NA10 workflow, but you don't need to worry about that because you can go back to Gemini and you can just use like the no-code editor directly here. Right, super simple and easy. So I mean, it's pretty crazy, you know. You could basically automate a lot of different stuff here. So the old way, the old approach would be like spending hours answering the same customer questions every week, hiring expensive virtual assistants or support staff to handle repetitive tasks, using complicated chatbot builders that require coding or technical setup, jumping between 10 different AI tools, trying to figure out which one does what, feeling overwhelmed by all the new AI releases and never actually implementing everything, and then watching tutorials like this that show fancy demos, but don't tell you what to actually do inside your business, right? Now, the new approach, that was the old approach. The new approach is like you can build custom AI agents in plain English that handle specific tasks in your business. You can set up one gem per business function and let them run automatically. You can use Google's free AI tool that's already connected to everything you use. Start with simple tasks and then add more gems as you learn what works, right? So you can see some examples here. This is all the content. You know, you've got the quote graphic, right? And it's basically created an image version of the testimonial as well, along with a Twitter thread, right? So we've got the Twitter thread here. It's like huge shout out to Eric. He just programmed an entire WordPress plugin using Manos with absolute zero experience, prior programming experience. This is what innovation looks like, blah, 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 right? And then it has a full Twitter thread for that particular testimonial. Also has a YouTube short, right? So we could actually create YouTube shorts based on Eric's testimonial here, as you can see. And then we also have the LinkedIn story and Instagram carousel. By the way, Eric is a legendary member of the AI offboarding. So yeah, there we go. GMD says, wait, you're not AI? I am not AI. It needs to work on its spelling. Yeah, I think it's not perfect, but you know, like I never expect these automations to be perfect first time around. And that's okay if it messes up a couple of times. And so, you know, you can see how easy this is. You know, people would previously look at AI tools and think this is for developers and tech people. I barely understand how to use advanced features in my email. There's no way I can build AI agents. But I would say you're confusing building AI with using AI, right? Nobody expects you to code a car engine from scratch. You just need to know how to drive. And here's what actually happened last week inside the airport for boardroom. So, you know, people told me, like, I don't even know what an API is. But a few days later, when they learn this stuff, they're already building custom AI agents with zero coding, zero technical background, and just plain English instructions. So technical skills on stuff like Gemini is not the requirement. All that's required is following a simple process. You know, you can think about it like cooking. You don't need to be a chef to follow a recipe. Google Gems is a recipe. You just need to read the instructions and follow the steps. The real skill is knowing what to automate in your business. That's strategy, and it's not coding, right? So you can see how simple and easy this stuff is. Let's go back now. I actually want to share this app. So if you want to steal this stuff from me, I want to put that inside the AI Success Lab, along with all the video notes from today. All right, so if you want to get access to this, I'm going to go inside the AI Success Lab, which is a free community where you can connect with 39,200 people interested in AI. If you go to the classroom here, then you're going to go down to new AI automations. And these are all different tutorials on the left-hand side, right? So you can see we're literally updating this all the time. All the latest stuff that comes out, we post about it, we share about it, we teach you how to use it. I mean, for example, if you want to learn how to use Google AI Studio, boom, there you go. All right. Maybe you want to learn how to build AI agents in 10 minutes. Boom, there you go. right? This is a free course and it's better than most people's paid stuff, right? Google Opal. You want to learn how to use Google Opal, my friend? No problem. Full tutorial with video notes right there, right? So everything that you need to learn AI is all complete free inside the AI Success Lab. And if you go inside the Google Gems section here, I will add the tools that I built today. So the testimonial builder, promoter is here. There you go. All right, next. Let's create something else now. So I'm going to go back to Claude, check out the chat that we had before with all the ideas, and we can start using this. Why do you use AI avatar in your videos? I'm confused. Basically, because it beats me every time. It creates better content than me that gets more watch time. I'll give you an example, right? So let's have a look here, see what we got, All right. So here's an example. I do a video here about GPT 5.2 and it gets 2.7K views, right? 2.7K views. Then my team using the AI avatar do a video about ChatGPT 5.2, right? So just want to be very, very clear here. This is the human video, as you can see, and that was 2.7K views, right? 2.7K views. My team do a video about ChatGPT 5.2, and that gets 5.6K views, right? So my AI avatar actually creates better content than me, that people prefer than me, and it performs better than me, right? And so it's not like I'm not just creating AI avatar videos because it's easy. It's like it literally creates better content and people prove that and vote that with their clicks and their views, right? Like this video literally got more than 2x of views of my human video on the exact same topic, right? So it's crazy stuff. JMD says, yeah, I only get recommended your AI avatar videos. I didn't even know you had real videos. Yeah, I create human videos every single day. And I also do live streams every single day, right? So you can see here all the live streams that we create and all the stuff that we put out here. These are all live streams with human version of me. And again, they don't get as many views as my AI avatar videos. So it's very hard to outperform myself. Give the gem instructions, a link for your channel, and the content will be similar, even if you create a new channel with the same gem. Yeah, maybe I'll do that. Let's have a look here. So if we have a look inside the chats, let's see what we got. Building AI mini apps with Opal and gems. Let's see what else we can build here. So we've already built the member wins transformer that takes AI profit bottom testimonials and creates promotable piece of content with it. Oh, this is interesting. Analyze this 4-hour live stream transcript and identify the 20 most viral worthy 60-second segments with timestamp hook, core insight, and suggested title. I love that. All right, let's build that. So I'm going to take this like so. We'll go over to Gemini. We'll go back to gems, new gem, plug that in. I'm going to say analyze my live streams transcripts and identify the most viral stuff, right? And we'll see that building out right here. So we'll just wait for that to load. You can see it's going to take a little while to create that. In the meantime, let's see what other limited beliefs we got here. You know, some people will think as well, like, you know, I should wait until AI gets better. And the old story people used to tell themselves was like, they think AI is still early. They think like they'll wait until it's more mature and proven until they invest time learning it. But waiting for the perfect time is the same as never starting. You know, let's have a look, for example, with what happened with smartphones. When the first iPhone came out in 2007, a lot of business owners said, I'll wait until the technology improves. But by the time they finally got a smartphone in 2012, their competitors have 5 years of experience using mobile technology to reach customers. And so the people who started early weren't waiting for perfection. They were building an advantage, right? The new truth is that the best time to start was yesterday, and the second best time to start is today. Google Gems is already powerful enough to save you a lot of time per week. And will it get better in the next year? Probably. But every week you wait is another week of doing things the manual way, whilst your competitors automate. So starting now with a 80% solution beats waiting for 100% solution that you never actually automate. You never actually implement. So we've got Clip Genius here, which is based on the idea we plugged in. We've got the steps of the automation. It's kind of like a no-code NA10 builder, but you don't need to mess around with APIs or coding or testing or anything like that. And then we can paste in our live stream transcripts. So let's try that. We'll go over to YouTube, as you can see. I'm just going to mute this. Then I'll take a live stream transcript and actually test this. So let's take this one. Let's grab the transcript over here. Copy that. And again, if you have any questions as we go along, feel free to ask. I'm just going to paste that in here. The cool thing is as well, I can paste quite a long transcript. This is a 1 hour transcript pretty much for this particular video. And I can paste that into Google Gemini because it's got such a large context window. It's got a million context window. It can handle that sort of stuff. So it can really handle longer context, and it doesn't matter if it takes a bit longer. Right? And you see all these other tools that we could build as well if we want to. So whilst waiting for this to code out, let me talk you through the Gem Stack system, your 30-day AI agent blueprint. All right, so the way that I see it is that Google has just given every entrepreneur a superpower. Most people are going to completely miss it. All right. So whilst everyone is still figuring out the ChatGPT basics, you're about to build an entire team of AI agents that work for you 24/7 inside Google's ecosystem that you're already using. All right. And this isn't about learning to code. This isn't about complicated setups. This is about using plain English to create custom AI helpers that handle the more boring, repetitive parts of running a business so you can focus on the parts that actually matter. And here's exactly what to do over the next 30 days. All right. So just before we get onto that, let me show you the outputs from this tool. So for example, we've got the hook and the core insight. So we can turn all of these into viral clips with the viral segment insights report. This is basically an analysis of key hooks, insights, and titles from viral content, highlighting opportunities for AI-driven business automation, right? It's got the segments, it's got the outputs, it's got all the different parts of the transcript that we turned into viral hooks, right? Based on the live stream transcript analysis. And this is all personalized to me because we use Claude to help us build it, right? And so you can see how easy it is to build this stuff out. And so, you don't just want to ask random questions with AI and hope for good answers. Smart entrepreneurs are building specialized AI agents for specific jobs. Think of it like hiring. You don't need to hire one person to do everything in your business. You hire a specialist, a writer, a support person, a researcher. And Google Gems lets you do exactly the same thing with AI. Each gem is a specialist trained to handle one specific task exactly the way you want it done. And the Gem Stack system is how you build your AI system and your team in just 30 days. So, days 1 to 7, what you're building is essentially your first 3 essential gems that every solopreneur needs. And why this matters is because these 3 gems will immediately save you 5 to 10 hours per week by handling the most common repetitive tasks. All right. So day number 1 to day number 2, you can create the customer question gem. And this gem answers common questions about your business. You stop typing the same responses over and over. Great for you or your customer service team. So open a Gemini, click create gem, name it customer support helper, write instructions in plain English, explain your business services, your pricing, and most common customer questions. Include examples of how you want it to answer, and then test it by just asking the questions that you get the most often, right? You can see examples of instructions you could use, common questions, and that's like the template that you can do to put inside Opal to automate your customer service. Like you can see right here, you literally just type in what you want. It doesn't need to be complicated. You don't need to be a prompt engineer to use this stuff. You just type in what you want in plain English, and boom, you're off to the races, my friend. Right? Then you can create the content idea gem. And I'm not going to walk through every single word inside this 30-day action plan, but I will say by day 7, you'll have 3 working gems you've tested and used at least once. You don't need to make them perfect. You just need to make them functional and test each one with real questions from your business. And just adjust these instructions if the answers aren't quite right? So you can see how this 30-day plan works, how to use it. It's all inside the AI Success Lab. So if you just go to AI Success Lab, link in the comments description, go to the classroom, completely free, go to the AI automation section, and then you can get the Google Gems section here, right? And this talks you through everything that you need, right? And we've built two different tools here. Again, if you want access to this app as well, let me publish this and I'll share the tool with you, completely free. Copy the link, edit this, and we'll type in the tool here. So this is the viral books plus content generator. All right. Now, you know, one of the most obvious things I think for this is like copywriting, any sort of marketing copywriting. But yeah, super powerful stuff. Harvey, the AI guy, says another neat trick is to use AI as feature built into YouTube. I use it to turn long videos into guides, recipes that I save to Notion and Docs. Yeah, let's try that. Let's try that. All right. So we're going to go to gems again. We'll create another cheeky one. We're going to go inside new gem and we'll say, turn my video transcripts into a beautiful guide plus recipe for using that tool. All right. So we'll grab that. That's going to start building it out like so. And then, yeah, there we go. All right. So it's building out. Like you can see, we've already built several tools out. I mean, all of these have worked first time around as well, which is pretty crazy. So all of these tools that we've created today have just worked first time around and they're all personalized to me. Then we've got the transcripts to SOP. All right. So we transform video transcripts into comprehensive guides and SOPs. Click start. And now we can start typing in what we want. Right. So if I go back to, let's just take a new one. So I'm going to take the new ChatGPT images model transcript. We'll take that. We'll plug this in, grab that, plug this into Gemini, hit enter. It gives us a percentage as well, so we know exactly how much progress we've made so far on generating that particular guide and SOP. And by the way, if you want guides and SOPs and everything that we've talked about today, you can get that inside the AI Success Lab, which is completely free. And this is beginning to generate. It's beginning to render. And I think sometimes what it does, it auto renders this stuff as a web page, and that's usually the most time consuming part of the whole process. So we'll wait for that to load. But in the meantime, you know, you might be thinking, okay, like how are other people getting results for this? So you can see inside the AI Profit Boardroom, like we post all these new wins every single day. You can see, for example, all these people getting wins all the time with AI and how to automate it, etc. For example, Steve. Steve said he spent weeks trying to install an app, followed countless tutorials, went down every single Reddit rabbit hole imaginable, all to no avail, right? Finally, he decided to pivot. He used Perplexity and treated it like a senior engineer sitting next to him, right? And from there, he now has Fizzy running perfectly. And he actually enjoyed the troubleshooting process, right? So if you want to see how we get results, if you're stuck with something, if you need to automate something inside your business, etc., get it inside the AI Profit Boardroom because it's absolutely amazing. And you can see here, this is the SOP based on this. We can actually download the file. So we can actually download that and you can see we've got the full SOP. Pretty nice, actually. That's pretty beautiful. It's compared ChatGPT and Nano Banana based on the image. I mean, look how nice that guide is. right? Like it's a full website we've just generated one click just by simply pasting in the transcript from my latest videos, right? It's compared banana banana, it's taken all the key information, it's broken it down perfectly, coded it into a beautiful HTML, and now we have a full guide and recipe on exactly what we need to do, right? And it actually looks good. So shout out to Harvey, the AI guy, for helping on that. But yes, it's awesome. Now, if you want to get access to that app as well, let me build that out for you. We're going to make that public. And now you can automate SOPs for free using this process, all right? So we're going to X off this. We'll go back to the notes from today, and I'll paste that inside here, all right? There you go, my friends. But yeah, you've seen all the people getting amazing results with this stuff. Inside the AI Profit Boardroom as well, we have all of these different classes and trainings, all the playbooks that I use for my business. I also answer your DMs personally, and I answer your community posts personally every single day as well. So you can see here, for example, Johan posted 17 hours ago, and we already got back to him and replied to him personally, as you can see right here, right? And so, like, if you want help, if you want support, if you want to be part of something bigger where we can all learn and grow and help each other, then join the AI Profit Boardroom. Harvey says, no problem. Turned out awesome. Yeah, I know. How good was that? That was really, really cool. So, yeah, teamwork makes the dream work. That's what we're talking about. All right. So, what I'd recommend is, you take the stuff that you've learned today and you just start implementing it. Now, 30 days from now, we've talked about the 30-day plan for this. 30 days from now, you'll either have an AI team working for you or you'll still be doing everything manually, right? The gem stack system that I've shown you today gives you the roadmap. Now, the AI Profit Boardroom community gives you the community for the support and the additional training you actually need to implement it. And everything that I've shown you today is just a starting point. Inside the community, inside the AI Profit Boardroom, you get live training to every new Google AI release. You get ready to use gem templates for dozens of business tasks. You get daily coaching where you can ask questions to get help. You get a community of people building the same systems who can share what's working right now. And you get workflows that connect gems with other tools like Notebook LM or NA10, for example. And this is how entrepreneurs and solopreneurs are competing with bigger agencies. This is how one person does the work of five, right? I would also recommend that when you make progress and when you start getting results with this stuff, post it inside the AI Profit Boardroom community, right? Share your wins inside the wins category. Let's all learn, let's all grow, let's share what's working together so that we can all we can all help each other evolve and improve, right? So let's talk about what you actually get inside the AI Profit Boardroom when you join. So the first thing that you get is the complete AI business automation training library. And you basically get access to every single training module I've ever created on using AI for business. So if you go to the classroom here, you see all these different trainings, all these different SOP updates, the 6-week masterclass, my personal playbook on all the systems I use for AI. And if you actually join annually, you get all of the new SOPs I've added this year, right? So you get the annual member vault, which is all of my new agency SOPs, swipe files, and automation blueprints. That's all inside the AI Profit Boardroom, okay? And this isn't like old, outdated content. This is living, breathing training that gets updated every single time Google or Claude or any major AI company releases something new. And here's how I built this. I spent the last 18 months testing every single AI tool that came out. I built real systems, automated real businesses, documented everything that worked and threw out everything that didn't. And then I took all of those wins and turned them into step-by-step training modules. And each module walks you through what the tool actually does, why it matters, how to set up in plain English, real examples from my business and member businesses, and common mistakes and how to avoid them. So you also get the template and prompt library, right? So you get a collection of working templates and prompts for every single tool out there. So we actually date the new updates. You can see these are all from 13th of December, as you can see, all these new updates here. And this is everything I actually use inside my business. Not theory, not examples, the real prompts that run my content creation, customer communication, research systems, and AI automation workflows. And here's the story behind this, right? Every time I build a new gem automation, I save the prompt. And every time I find a better way to phrase something, I update it. Every time a member shares a prompt that gets amazing results, I add it to the library. And there's over 200 prompts inside the AI Profit Boardroom that you can get access to today. And you see all these different master lists of prompts and all these different prompts for every single tool, as you can see right here. So Firebase, you've got, for example, Gemini COI, Google Juice Agent, etc. It's all inside the AI Profit Boardroom. Top of that, you get daily coaching calls where you can show up, ask questions, and ask questions in real time. So inside the calendar here, you get daily coaching calls where you can ask questions. And, you know, this isn't like office hours, this isn't Q&A, this is like live troubleshooting, strategy sessions, and implementation help. And here's why this matters. I learned this lesson the hard way. You can have the best training in the world, but when you try to apply it to your specific business, you will hit roadblocks. Maybe your business model is slightly different. Maybe the tool updated and something changed. Maybe you just need someone to look at what you built and tell you if you're on the right track. And that's what these coaching calls do. So you can, for example, show us your gem, and we'll help you improve it, right? Or you can tell us your automation ideas and we'll help you build it live on the coaching calls. You can explain your business challenge and we'll show you which AI tools actually help you solve it. So the value here is like you get daily access to expertise for AI automation that you can't find anywhere else, right? Like where else are you going to find this stuff? Top of that, you get live breakdowns for every new AI release. So every day I do lives where I cover all the live major AI tools and launches. Like today, Google Gems just came out. You get in this live stream, this complete guide, there's templates, recordings, etc. inside the AI Profit Boardroom. And fifth, you get access to a community of solopreneurs, right? So, and access to an awesome community, very active communities, you can see, of solopreneurs. Who you can join, share, grow, and learn with, as you can see today. All right. So, and this isn't like a Facebook group or something like this. This is like an active daily community of people sharing wins, asking questions, posting their automations, and helping each other. And why this matters is like when you're building AI systems, you need to see what's working for other people in real businesses. Someone in the community runs a landscaping business and just automated their entire quote business process with their entire quoting process with AI, right? And then that suddenly helps the web designer who's trying to automate their proposal system. So you see how it all links together and how we can all help each other. It's basically collective intelligence where everyone gets smarter together. Plus, there's accountability. So when you post your goals and your progress, you're way more likely to actually do the work. And the value here is peer support and accountability that you can't normally buy, right? So you can see, for example, here with the action takers daily check-in, and people just share and grow and learn together, right? We also do like monthly automation. We do like all this other cool stuff that you can see here, and all together, you're going to get access to the complete AI business automation training library, thousands of prompts, daily life coaching, immediate training, every new AI release, AI community of implementing solopreneurs that's very active, monthly automation challenges, the Google AI ecosystem masterclass, and just all sorts of cool stuff. All right. So feel free to get that link in the comments description, and I will see you inside the AI Profit Boardroom. Plus, you can DM me anytime you need help, and I appreciate you watching today. Harvey says, you're killing it, man. Thank you very much, sir. And I'll see you all on the next one. Cheers, everyone. Bye-bye.